Oh,
It's terrible.
my thing got.
It's terrible. So, you can join.
Yo, what's up, man?
You already.
Yeah, it's always a shit show on TikTok. Didn't you know?
That's why I'm here.
Hey, I just full disclosure, I can't stream on TikTok, but I'm live on my YouTube channel. Just so it's like we're 100. Is that cool with you? No. I mean, I'm not going to share what my name is. I'm not going to do that. I'm just letting you know that. So no, if people want to join, I'm on YouTube at TheShagsworth. Feel free to join mine or whatever. But I saw your topics and I wanted to engage you because I think that your pro-choice is pro-life. I disagree with that. I think so. I'm not 100% pro-life, but I certainly see the legitimacy in pushing and understanding that pro-life is probably the best way to go because it helps people value human life over the alternative, which is being able to just get an abortion whenever you want, or even up until in the second trimester. It's I just think it's not a really great way for people to sustain in the long run. Well, but so, and here's I think the difference is like if you needed an abortion, at that point it wouldn't be an abortion because it's a medical necessity to either save the mom's life. No, abortions is not a need, man.
Some people want an abortion.
But what would you need an abortion for? Like, because I don't know.
Sometimes your life is in danger. Have a baby.
Yeah, but then it becomes a
Sometimes
medical procedure. Then it's not an abortion.
Oh, but all abortions are medical procedures. You can't
No.
say that they're not. Even the ones that they want, there's not like it's not like doctors aren't doing this.
Yeah, see
Doctors
that's semantic. That's semantic
No, I
wordplay.
consider a medical procedure anything you have that a doctor has to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Again, you're not wrong, but I'm saying if the mother's life was in jeopardy, you're like an abortion is a separate medical procedure, which is an elective medical procedure. If a mother required it, you would need.
Incest is elective, but is it a medical procedure? It's a medical procedure still. You go get a Brazilian butt lift, it's elective, but it's a medical procedure. It's a medical procedure.
Yes,
it's
but
okay.
but I'm saying the two things can be.
It doesn't change how anybody feels about the subject. It's a medical procedure. Let's just agree on that, bro. You do it in a medical setting.
Yeah.
These politicians that are pro-abortion, they're not saying I'm gonna make sure people have abortion, or people that are pro-abortion, they're not gonna say I'm gonna go perform abortion. They're not performing it. Those are doctors that do that.
Yeah, no, and again, that's why I say it's semantic wordplay because I agree that it's a medical procedure because a doctor is performing it, but I'm saying we can differentiate between the two because one is required to save a life and the other is to remove a life.
So one is elective and one's not elective. How about that?
Yes.
Sometimes abortions are elective. Sometimes abortions are not elective.
Again,
and you want to talk about.
So I have to. So I just reject the premise that.
Talk about elective, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I think the elective abortions are something that need to be severely wrangled in because it goes back to valuing human life. You have to, if you value human life, you don't push for abortions because there's no reason to get rid of a human.
Necessarily true. It depends on whose life you value.
Well, if you value, well, okay, and again, it goes even a step farther. If you value your own life, and this is obviously not involving someone who is raped or essayed or whatever. Like that is something.
We don't have to go there.
Yeah, but I'm saying but if someone is like having sex or whatever and just doing wild sexual lifestyle, and then all of a sudden they're pregnant. They're like, oh, I'm not ready to do this, huh?
That's also an outlier. That's not most people.
You don't think most people are sexually active and having it for?
No, but I don't think most people are what you would consider a wild sexual lifestyle. I don't think most people have that.
Well, I mean, most abortions are elective. They're not because of SA.
I would agree. I would agree. Now, let me ask you a question so we can just set the kind of a presupposition here. Under what circumstances, because we're talking about elective abortion, under what circumstances should a woman have to be pregnant if she doesn't want to be?
And my point, and this is my point, is that it's already too late. That's and the reason that people should listen to stuff like this, like we're doing, is because I believe that you need to value your life and the unborn child's life and pursue birth control.
Heart, man. You can't legislate heart. You have to legislate actions.
So no, I know that. No, you can't. Yeah, but
so let's talk about the action. Under what circumstances should a woman be forced to be pregnant against her will? Give me which one.
Under what circumstances should a woman be forced to be pregnant?
A woman finds out she's pregnant. She doesn't want to be. Under what circumstances should she have to be like, well, I just got to be pregnant?
Well, how you're framing the question is intentionally trying to paint me as a villain here. But
I'm not trying to paint you with anything. I'm asking. This is why I'm asking the question, because I don't want you to feel that way. You come up here, you've been very respectful, and I think we're having an opportunity for a great dialogue.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that if we're talking about people's rights, if we're talking about people's rights and what people's actions and things of that nature, right? Basically saying that every woman that wants an abortion, the elective one, right? Not the people that have to have one, the elective one. Every one of those women are making a decision that I'm pregnant and I don't want to be anymore. So if there's a law that says I cannot terminate a pregnancy, what you're basically saying is you're forcing me to be pregnant when I don't want to be. So under what circumstances is it okay for a woman to be forced to be pregnant when she doesn't want to be pregnant?
When it's out of convenience, when she's inconvenienced by the pregnancy, and it was due to her own lack of contraception or whatever, like you should not be able to give up that child.
Determination if that was why it happened.
What's that?
Who makes that determination? Like,
see, and that's why
can she just go and lie? Can she just lie? A woman just go and lie? And
yeah,
say,
of course, and that's why this question is extremely hard to answer, because I knew that was going to be the follow up, and that's why really the answer is you. I don't believe that more government power is the answer, which is why the overturning of Roe v. Wade was a big win, because the states could legislate, leave the federal government out of it, and depending on where you were in the United States, sort of dictated that law. Now, you have to talk to people and get them to understand that your life is extremely valuable. So you should be using contraception if you're not ready to have kids, multiple if need be.
What's a life worth?
What do you mean? What is a life worth?
What's a life worth? You say it's very valuable.
What's
a life worth?
I mean, it's probably priceless. Like
so that woman's life is priceless.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, you need to. But really, the alternative to the abortion is you should carry the child to term. If you're not ready to have a child, then give it up for adoption. We can have a totally separate discussion another day about the issues with adoption.
It's not about consent. It's about consent.
Yeah. What do you
see? If it was just I had sex, a woman has sex, and then a stork shows up with a baby, that'd be one thing.
Yeah, but if you allow,
hold on. Okay. We're talking about a pregnancy, and if a woman should be, first of all, being pregnant is dangerous.
No, it's not.
You know that, right? It's more dangerous than not being pregnant. They're more vulnerable.
I guess it's a very human thing. It's a natural process, dude. It's a natural process.
But just because it's natural doesn't mean it's not. Cancer's a natural process. Doesn't mean it's dangerous.
No, it's not. I mean, it exists in nature. It doesn't mean it naturally happens. Like,
that is literally the definition of natural, existing in nature.
You know exactly what I mean.
Literally, what's natural.
Listen, it would be natural if at some point I'm supposed to develop cancer and fight it. That's not the case.
You know, this wasn't always a political issue, but now it's a political issue.
Right.
So let's talk politics.
Well, we don't. So listen, let me go back to something you said real quick. When a woman allows a penis to enter her vagina, that is consent, and that is her her saying, I'm ready to have a child. If
what
it
if
is
it's not? What
not,
if it's
listen, you
not?
have to understand that you have to understand the effects of what you're getting into. If one of the effects of having sex is to possibly have a child, you either need to use contraception or you should probably avoid it, or at least have a plan for what might happen. Again, this is the solution's not easy because you can't
Oh my
legislate
God,
it like you said.
They do have a plan. They would terminate the pregnancy.
No, they shouldn't though. It's wrong.
Why not?
It's wrong to kill an unborn human.
Says who?
Says any person who has a heart.
That's not true. There's plenty of people with hearts.
When am I allowed to? When would I be allowed to unalive you?
No one's running up to women saying you better go have an abortion. People don't want an abortion. It's not the ideal outcome.
So we should require Planned Parenthood to offer multiple contraceptions and not making abortions
You ever been to Planned Parenthood?
Yes, I have.
They offer a lot of contraception.
They do, but I'm saying it should the default shouldn't be let's
hold on. You just said they should offer tons of contraception and not do abortion is something that happens after pregnant. You can't put on a condom after someone gets pregnant.
No, yeah, and that's what again, I don't believe that there's a legislative answer to this. I believe that people need to understand
Exactly. So why would someone pass a law saying a woman can't have an abortion? That's them trying to make a legislative answer to abortion. We're going to make sure legally you can't have one. Why is that a legislative? Why is that a legislative? Why are they trying to make legislative answers to something that seemingly is a medical issue and not a legislative?
The federal government has relieved itself of any law. Individual states can now make.
I'm not talking about the federal government. I'm talking about state government.
Okay, and what those states do is up to them. I don't. So, and this is why I said at the beginning, like I'm willing to concede. Probably, hold on. Let me just finish real quick. I can concede that maybe within the first 4 weeks, you could maybe make an argument for it if SA was involved. Other than that, you should carry the baby to term. What?
Most women don't know that they're pregnant in 4 weeks.
That's when, I mean, I think 4 to 6 weeks is when you would get a positive result.
Yeah, but everybody's not running around just taking a pregnancy test just for nothing. You think women just take pregnancy test just in case?
Do you think women are so stupid they don't know when they're possibly pregnant?
Yeah, but they usually, by the time a woman finds out they're pregnant, they're usually more than 6 weeks pregnant.
That's not always the case. And people are aware of when something may have happened. Again, we're talking about outlier cases.
I'm talking about what normally happens. What normally happens is when a woman is pregnant, she's usually more than 6 weeks along.
I don't think that's necessarily the case. And I think, but I believe that if there is a question, like if there ever is a question that they might be pregnant, there's always like, they're always thinking leading up to it, like, oh shit, like I was really drunk that night and oh my God, there was 3 guys around, or, oh, I know we had sex. Like, and I'm not against plan B. Like if a girl goes out and has a wild night and wants to take plan B, I think that's probably the better alternative, even though it's
always looking up to some sexual immorality of some sort. Like the woman that wants to have a terminated pregnancy has to be been doing some sexual immorality. Why? No,
and me saying that does not relieve any responsibility from the man either. So before chat or you gets upset about that,
that's a whole different discussion.
Right.
That's a whole different discussion because a man doesn't know. Like if a woman is pregnant and the woman wants to have a terminated pregnancy and the man's like, no, you can't terminate my baby. It's like, you don't know if you're the father for real or not. You don't know. You don't know. You can think you are. You can have a good idea that you might be. But you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So men, you don't know if that baby's even yours. You got to sit off. You got to sit off to the side for that. Okay. It's a decision made between a woman and a doctor. Now but this is legislation that makes it, that's preventing these abortions.
From the leak more so.
Do it. It's not because there's not people that need it or want it. We're talking about the elective ones. So the people that want it, right? So there's a supply and demand in the little free market here, right? But the government is preventing it. So it's a political issue, right? So when we're talking about the rights, people normally bring up the rights of the unborn child, right?
Yes.
Where in the Constitution do unborn persons have rights in America?
Because they're still a person, so they fall into the Constitution.
No, it doesn't say. Read the 14th Amendment. I'll pull it up for you.
Sure. Well, yeah, and
the 14th Amendment.
Good.
No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of a citizen of the United States, nor deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law.
Right. I would be careful about, like, I think making the excuse to delineate or to make unborn children not citizens, like, yes, in the legal sense, but again, it's like dehumanizing the fetus and the what will be a human.
I don't know. I think it's a human fetus. It's a human fetus.
Right. So the protections of the Constitution still fall on that and protecting that unborn life.
When do they start?
At conception.
When? That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Where in the Constitution can you back up conception when it says, when the 14th Amendment is talking about persons born or naturalized in the United States?
You have to establish when life begins, and life begins at fertilization with the embryo's conception, and that's from the Princeton.edu.
Born or naturalized in the United States?
No. Well, no.
So, but is the woman? Hold on. Now, is the woman born or naturalized in the United States?
What?
Is the woman, the American citizen, is the woman born or naturalized in the United States?
Well, yeah, but again, that woman, when she was unborn, I would say that she has the rights of every human. That's what I think people are.
The citizen of the United States, right? Woman's a citizen.
Yeah, and because the mother's a citizen, the unborn child would be a citizen because they're on American soil.
There's nothing in the Constitution that says that.
Yes,
no, it doesn't.
You're right. It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't specify unborn child in the Constitution, but again,
because that's not what their intention was. It has nothing to do with that.
Well, this was also made at a time when millions of children weren't aborted every
the woman
year.
Is also the citizen, but the woman is the citizen. Facts or no? We know for a fact that's undisputable. The woman's the citizen.
Is there not it looks like there's a U.S. code for protection of unborn children.
Okay, read it to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up now because I just looked at it real quick.
Cool. Take your time.
Yeah, I think it becomes like you have to believe that unborn children are people like you and I, but just at a much earlier stage. And if people can appreciate that,
I can breathe on my own. I can walk around on my own. I can live on my own. And children have bodily autonomy. So even if a child is under the age of being able to walk and stuff like that, they have bodily autonomy.
Okay, so
unborn fetus has no bodily autonomy.
So the U.S.
I would argue that no, they're not the same person as a baby. They're not in the eyes of the law. And this is what you're giving is a moral stance, but you said yourself this is a legal matter and it shouldn't even be political at all. That's what you said.
Yeah,
But since it's politicized, we have to talk about it in the realm of politics because politicians are the ones making these laws, right? So now they've politicized it. So now we're forced to talk about this instead of talking about it in terms of medical care and protecting women's bodily autonomy and women's rights. Instead of that realm, we have to bring it to the political realm and hash it out here, unfortunately. Because politicians are getting in the way. You think politicians are protecting somebody. I'm telling you politicians are not protecting women. Because women, the decision to terminate a pregnancy is a very serious one, and women need to be free to make that decision between them and their doctor.
So at what age do you think we should value human life? And should it be under the law or?
What do you mean? You're assuming that I'm not valuing human life
No, I'm asking a question because I don't know. I haven't assumed anything. Right. I want to know.
No, but that's what the question. It begs that question is, under that presupposition. So let me just tell you, I value the woman's life. I value the life of women.
Okay. So, but at what point should we start valuing life? The question still remains because if
I value women's life.
I value women's life too.
Should we start valuing life?
I value it so much that I want them to make better choices before they have children.
You think you only think the reason people get pregnant is under the because they made a bad choice?
No, I don't think that's always the case.
I'm talking about elective. We already know we're not counting SA, we're not counting grape, we're not counting medical, like you're gonna die. We're not counting none of those. We took all that out. So we're talking about elective. You think that the only reason that women get pregnant when they don't want to get pregnant is if they made a bad choice somewhere? That's what you think?
I don't know if it's as simple as that. Because
it's not.
Well, yeah.
You're right. So for you but when every time you're bringing it up, like I said, you're either attaching it to some scenario of sexual depravity or something like where it's almost casting a disparaging light on the woman that wants to terminate a pregnancy.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna disparage the one. Okay, listen. Let me clarify. I don't agree. I don't agree with her decision to electively give up a child, but I think
have anything to do with you.
It has to do with it because it's something that I can fight against.
I want to terminate a pregnancy. I say, I don't think you should. She says to me, it's not your decision.
It doesn't affect me, but it cheapens human life. And the more it is done.
I didn't say it doesn't affect me. I might be deeply saddened or hurt or mad. I might be like, that's not good. Or you have other options. Let's explore other options because nobody really wants that. She might not even want that. But if she's going to do it, that's her decision. That's all I'm saying. I have 6 kids, bro. We don't do it. We've never done that.
That's good.
In our family.
That's good.
So it's not about me and what I want. It's about me protecting a woman's bodily autonomy. Let me give you an example.
Yeah, but the bodily autonomy, again, this is where you and I differ.
What laws have they ever passed over yours or my bodily autonomy?
I have to enter selective service. I have no choice. Otherwise I can go to prison.
Selective service.
Right. So I can get drafted and against my will, I have to fight and die in a war that I don't agree with.
But there's never even been a threat you getting drafted.
No, but my name was still in the selective service. Like I could have been pulled into the war in Iraq or in Afghanistan. I absolutely could have been.
They weren't going to draft anybody for those.
What?
There's no draft. There is no draft.
No, the point is there's still a law that forces me.
After that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing the biggest point. You know, the same women that stand up for the right for women to terminate pregnancies are the same women that are saying we should get rid of the draft altogether for people like you and me. Did you know that they're also standing up for the same thing?
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm saying that
that's great.
They understand that the government having rights over your body autonomy is not good, and even to the point where they will defend your rights, saying you don't want to be in selective service. They agree with you.
But again, your bodily autonomy starts before you're pregnant, my dude. Before you're pregnant, you have autonomy over your body because we're not talking about unintentional stuff, right? We're not talking about SA and that.
If you get pregnant, you all of a sudden lose bodily autonomy. Once you're pregnant, you lost bodily autonomy. When do you just? That's where you're into your rights. Gotcha. Your rights are.
So when should human rights begin? When should we allow human rights to begin?
When should we allow human rights?
Yes. When should human rights begin?
When a human's born.
That's after the birth canal, but 6 inches up the birth canal. No go.
Born. Well, hey, you know what? All that stuff you want to do what you want with it. When a person is born or naturalized into the United States, they are now subject to the rights and privileges and responsibilities of being an American citizen. This is an American.
At what point when should abortion stop? When should we outlaw abortion from happening?
What do you mean? When should we outlaw?
What I'm asking you is, should abortion be allowed all 9 months of the pregnancy?
Not electively.
Okay, it does happen. It's rare, but it does happen. And there are some states that do allow it.
What woman is going to carry a baby for 9 months that they want, and then abort like last minute? Like, wait, it's coming down. Up.
There has been cases. There's been a few where there's actually one recently where the woman was like 8 months pregnant, or maybe she was in her 3rd trimester, and threw the baby in the garbage. in the hospital.
Happens for babies. That happens when babies are born. That happens all the time. You know what that happens? You know when that happens?
What? When does that happens all the time?
No, hold on. You know when that happens the most?
When
there were laws against abortion.
What?
That used to happen all the time when there were laws against abortion, especially with teenagers hiding pregnancies from their parents and from their neighbors, and then they would find some way to get. That's why they have things like safe places now where you can take your baby. If you don't want your baby, you can just take them to a fire station or take them to a police station.
It's called an abortion. It's called an adoption center. You don't take it to a firehouse. You take babies to a firehouse.
But people were not doing that. People were not doing that. People were taking. You can literally. It's called safe space. There's a firehouse down the street from my house. If someone has a baby and they don't want that baby, they can literally walk up to a fire station, hand their baby to a first responder, and walk away. The safe space.
That sounds awful. Why would you? If I was a firefighter and someone walked up and handed me a kid, I'd be like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? We fight fires. We don't raise children."
No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, "Thank you that you didn't throw this baby in the trash or murder it. Thank you for bringing it here because we can take care of it." That's why they have safe spaces. It's called a safe space. It's actually saved the lives of some babies.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, you're probably right. That yes.
You're pro safe space. Yeah. Hold on. If you're pro life, you're pro safe space. Because if somebody knocked on your door right now and said, "I'm going to kill my baby," you would say, "No, give me the baby. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Anything but that."
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So the first responders are trained to deal with those situations. And that's a good thing.
I don't know if they're true. Yeah. Okay.
I gotta agree that's a good thing.
It's good that people are accepting of children and not having them be put in dumpsters. You're absolutely right. Again, but I think your way, and I think the pro-choice way, lacks accountability at a lot of different ends. And it's what?
Accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability. You mean like if you got pregnant, it's a mistake and you got to suffer the consequences?
That's a really harsh way of putting it. But as someone who has, you have 6 kids. I have 2 kids. Like, kids are the most beautiful, amazing journey that you go on as a parent. It's hard for sure. It's hard. But that, like, you're talking about groups that are advocating for completely removing and, deleting children from the face of the earth just because it's an inconvenience for them.
No, terminating pregnancies, and every pregnancy is not a child. You have to be viable. A child is different than a pregnancy. You know that for a fact. They're different.
No, because it's a child. It's a child. At 8 weeks, that thing looks like a child, a very, very small child.
Okay.
Can
it live like a child?
Yeah, my 4-year-old can't live on his own. Is it not a child?
No, listen. If you walked away from your 4-year-old right now,
he would die.
Someone else, your 4-year-old can be fed, can be clothed, can live outside of your body.
No, he can't. No. You have 6 kids and you don't know this, brother? If my 4-year-old would immediately go in the pantry, eat every piece of candy, every cookie, then drink all the juice that was available, would definitely drink water after that, but he doesn't know how to.
We know if they're left alone, but they have bodily autonomy. They're citizens. They're American citizens. Your children are American citizens. A fetus is not an American citizen.
It should be. It should be.
Why? Then you got to change the Constitution because the Constitution's saying that they're not.
I don't think so.
It's a political issue, right? The Constitution is saying they're not citizens. Why would we take the rights of a citizen and then take the rights of a non-citizen and saying that non-citizen's rights supersedes the rights of the citizen?
So here's that U.S. Code 1841, protection of unborn children. Whoever engages in conduct that violates any of the provisions of law listed in subsection B and thereby causes the death of or bodily injured as defined in section 1365 is a child who is in utero at the time the conduct takes place is guilty of a separate offense under this section. This is from the Cornell Law School website, law.cornell.edu.
Well, that just means I get what you're saying. That just means if abortion is legal, then you're not doing that. If abortion's illegal, then you're doing that. That's all that's saying.
Yeah. Well,
it's also saying that you can't shoot someone that wants their baby. You can't shoot them and kill them in the fetus. It's a double murder. That's all it's saying.
Yes, I know, and I see your chat. I know it's
what I'm saying is there should not be any laws against a woman being that there shouldn't be any laws that force a woman to be pregnant against her will. That's it. That's what I'm saying. There should not be a law that forces a woman that doesn't want to be pregnant.
The laws for killing humans should be extended to unborn kids, because then women would not just willfully give up their children because it was an inconvenience to them. Sorry,
women do. Wait. Didn't you just say if it is an inconvenience to give them up for adoption?
Yeah, because you're not killing them.
But it's an inconvenience, so they're giving them up.
Yes, and the child is still alive, and it will have a loving family. It will be a person.
They're giving it up because it's inconvenient.
It's not ideal, but you're not killing the human by giving it up for a sorry, I didn't mean to say the K word, but
what is it? Why are you harping on what is so great? Every right that you have, bro, that you consider a human right, those rights are something that's given by the consensus of the people. Right? Rights don't come from anywhere. Some people are saying, well, this is my God-given right. There's no such thing as that.
Yeah, there is God. How is it not a God-given right that you should be able to live and your children should be able to live, including those who are not yet born?
Well, there's
why would you sit here and defend the opposite?
If that's your God, there's abortion in the Bible, so it would be a God-given right.
When is there abortion in the Bible?
Oh, it's in Numbers. If you believe that your wife was cheating on you, you take her to the priest. They give her this weird liquid, and if she's pregnant, it would abort whatever she had going on.
I don't know that passage really or whatever.
It was really for men that didn't want to have a baby. See, the thing was, it was abortion, but it was in the hands of men instead of women. That's in the Bible. All you had to do was accuse your woman. Oh, you're pregnant? You're telling me you're pregnant? No, no, I don't want a baby. You are cheating on me because I don't want a baby.
Okay,
and
what?
They could actually take it to the priest, and they would administer that abortion.
I don't agree with that. I don't think people should have done that. I don't think anyone should follow that. So,
but I'm saying, there's people that attribute a God to the Bible, that's the word of a God.
Do you know what the chapter and verse is for that, so I could verify it, or maybe your chat knows?
I don't want to misinform you, so I'm just going to make sure I look it up before I tell you. Okay.
Yeah. I think this obviously I think comes down to a moral issue, and I think it's morally wrong to kill humans. I consider an unborn fetus as human. Life begins at conception. That's a scientific fact. So there you go.
It's Exodus 21, 22 through 25. Verses 22 through 25. Exodus 21, verse 22 through 25.
Exodus 21, 22 to 25. Okay. Let me see. If people are fighting and hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but there's no. If people are fighting and hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but there is no serious injury, the offender must be fined whatever the woman's husband demands and court allows. But if what is this? But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Burn for burn.
Oh, sorry. Numbers 5. I'm tripping.
I'm going to say that doesn't seem like, no.
Numbers 5, 11 to 28. Sorry. That's my bad.
So so it's still Exodus 21, but it's an earlier passage?
Numbers 5. 11 through 31. Are you a Bible believer or something like that?
No, not necessarily. I just think I just want to know where it comes from. I like to know things. I like to learn about different things. I don't know if it actually says that, but I'll look it up for sure. Yeah, man. I don't know. It seems like people wants to move on to something else. I'm not gonna. If someone else wants to join, I'll let them jump in. But I appreciate the discussion.
Hey, shoot me a follow and then send me a message with your YouTube link.
Yeah.
What I will do, because when I'm at work, all I do is listen, stuff like that. I will definitely listen to your videos, live streams, whatever. I really enjoy talking to you, bro.
Oh, right on, man. Appreciate it. And thanks, chat, for being cool. I know it wasn't what everyone wanted to hear, but yeah, man, appreciate you.
Who cares? I don't do this for them. I do this for me.
All right, bro. Be easy.
Hey, have a good one.